Hey guys, welcome to today's video, and if you are new here, welcome. Here on this channel you will find a lot of skincare content, but I also provide a lot of makeup and hair care videos as well. So if you love all things beauty, then you're in the right place. Today I'm going to be showing you some winter skincare routine essentials. These are products that I always use during the winter months, but I also love to use a lot of these during the spring, summer months as well. So if you have dry, flaky, irritated skin, or you just want your skin to be as hydrated and as moisturized as possible and balanced, then keep on watching because these products are great to incorporate in both your morning and nighttime skincare routines. So of course, everything that I'm sharing in today's video will all be linked below for you for your reference. So let's get right into it. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos, as I do upload videos every single week. Alright, so if you are new here, I have combination skin. So generally my face is normal with an oily T-zone, and I am prone to breakouts as well. But during the winter, my skin can become quite dry, and I'm using tretinoin, so sometimes that product can create a lot of dry flakiness around my mouth. So I do like to use products that are hydrating, that are also moisturizing and repairing on my skin, whether my skin needs it or not. I just really love my skin to be as hydrated as possible, where it's plump and it just looks youthful. So again, a lot of the products that I'm sharing in this video I use all year round. So the first one that I want to share with you is a cleanser, and generally in the winter months we do resort to cleansers that are more hydrating, that are not as stripping. So this one by Aveeno, the Daily Moisturizing Facial Cleanser, is my favorite at the moment, and I was using this during the summer and it was perfect on my combination skin. So if you have oily skin, I think you're going to love this because it's not heavy, it's very lightweight, and it doesn't leave a gross film on the skin either. So if you have sensitive skin, you're going to love this because it contains oats. So this is a very soothing and calming ingredient, and I just feel like this is a great drugstore option that isn't too expensive. I also love the CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser, and I also love the Inculus Oat Cleansing Balm. Those are some other options that I love as well, and I use those during the summer months as well. But this is my favorite, and I think it's important to use hydrating cleansers during the winter that are not stripping and that are not too harsh. So I really like to apply my serums and my moisturizers onto damp skin so that I get quicker absorption, I get that hydrated, plump look and feel to the skin. Now when I'm using active ingredients like tretinoin, lactic acid, anything that is harsh, I do like to apply those onto dry skin to prevent quick absorption and further irritation. So of course there are many products that you can use to prep your skin before your serums and your moisturizers, and you can just use plain old water in a spray bottle if you really wanted to, but I like the Caudalie grape water. So this soothes, this hydrates and moisturizes the skin, and I was using this a lot during the summer. I brought this in my bag, and I like to refresh my skin during the day because sometimes with being in the sun and also wearing a lot of sunscreen, your face can become quite tight. So this is a great refreshment, great to bring to the gym as well, or yoga, whatever you want to do. But I also like to use this in my skincare routine and spritz this on my face and my neck before every serum, and then of course the final step being a moisturizer. And I just feel like everything just penetrates into the skin a lot better, and again you get that hydrated, plump look and feel to the skin as well. So I'm a big fan of this. I really love it. It's gentle and it's just perfect for the winter. The next essential that I feel is really important during the winter months is using under eye masks, because a lot of the times the under eyes can get very dry and flaky. I can experience this quite a bit during the winter, especially in the inner corner of the eye. And then when this happens, your under eyes just look crepey, and it's just lacking that moisture and hydration. So using under eye masks can be very beneficial. And the ones that I love that I feel perform the best are the Dermatology Brightening Eye Masks. These are really saturated, but they're also very hydrating. So these contain aloe, hyaluronic acid, caffeine, and niacinamide to help with dark circles and puffiness. There's peptides in here to soften fine lines, and there's also a lot of other humectant properties to keep that skin nice and nourished. Now I like to keep these in the fridge because I feel like they depuff even more when they're slightly colder, and I like to leave these on for at least 20 minutes or half an hour or sometimes longer. I feel like the longer I leave them on, the better. And when you peel them off, your under eyes look amazing. So I always apply an eye cream or a face moisturizer on top of my skin, of course. Where else am I going to put it? But what I'm trying to say is when I peel those under eye masks off, I put my cream on right away before the under eye dries up so that I can lock in that hydration where my skin remains plumped and nourished for the entire day. So I highly recommend these. These are amazing. And I have a discount code for you guys where you can get 20% off. So you can use my code MISSASH. And of course, I will leave that information below for you for your reference. So facial serums are really nice to use during the winter months because they just give our skin that hydration that we're lacking, but they can also repair the skin and keep our skin barrier balanced. So there are two serums that I really love during the winter. I have many that I love, but these are the two that I'm going to be sharing in this video. So if you've been following me for a while, you guys know that I love the Ordinary Amino Acids plus B5. This is a hydrator. So this is very different from hyaluronic acid. So with hyaluronic acid, that's going to, yes, hydrate the skin, but it's also going to plump up the skin as well. This isn't necessarily going to plump up your skin, but I feel like this does a better job when your skin is really dry and tight and it's lacking that hydration. This is more satisfying to use, and I just feel like this does a better job when you need that hydration. So I like using this twice a day, every day, and I use this 365 days out of the year. This is a must-have in my skincare routine, whether I need it or not. It just does a fabulous job, and also it has that watery texture, so your skin absorbs it so nicely, and there's no stickiness or tackiness, and no pilling whatsoever. So if you love stuff like this, I highly recommend the amino acids. This is a game changer during the winter months. Now, the next one that I really love is the Inculus polyglutamic acid. Now, this is very similar to hyaluronic acid, but this actually holds on to 4 times more moisture than hyaluronic acid. So this is like a sealant. You want to use this as your very last serum in your skincare routine before your moisturizer and your sunscreen. So this is going to plump up your skin and hydrate the skin, but this is also a little bit thicker in texture. So when you apply your skincare products before this, like a facial mist, maybe the amino acids plus B5, whatever you want to use, like vitamin C, put those on first, then put this on as that last serum, and this is going to lock in all of that hydration from your previous products, and this is going to prevent transepidermal water loss. So again, your skin's going to remain hydrated and plump all day, or of course all night. So put this on after your serums, but before your moisturizer and your sunscreen. And if you don't want to use this in your skincare routine, you can also mix a few pumps of this into your foundation, and you can use it that way as well. So facial masks are a great thing to use when your skin is really dry, and I like to use them at least once a week. So I do have a few in my collection. A lot of them are leave-ons, so you replace your moisturizer with it, and then of course you leave it on all night. But I really enjoy wash-off masks. And there's one here that I always use when my skin is irritated, but also when it's really dry and tight. And this is the Isntree Real Rose Calming Mask. Now recently, Isntree switched out their packaging. So this is actually the old style packaging. So the new one doesn't look like this anymore, but the formula is the exact same. And this is beautiful, very hydrating, also very soothing and repairing. This has that jelly texture to it, and there's pieces of rose in it as well. So when I use this, I like to apply this onto damp skin so that of course it can penetrate into my skin, and I do like to put a thick layer all over my face and my neck, and sometimes I will even put this on my hands as well if my hands need it. Now they say to leave it on for 15 to 20 minutes. I actually like to leave it on longer than that, sometimes an hour, sometimes 45 minutes. I like to use this at night where I have more time. So I will apply a thick layer all over, throw on a Netflix show, and of course just enjoy the experience. And it does have that nice cooling sensation. Not that there's menthol or anything in here, it's just because it's jelly and because you're applying it onto damp skin, it just has this nice refreshing feeling and sensation to the skin that I really love. And this is a game changer during the winter months, and I do like to use this at least once a week or once every couple of weeks. Now, of course, exfoliating our skin is important no matter what season we are in. but especially during the winter, we want to make sure that we're getting rid of that surface dead skin so that all of the hydrating ingredients and products that we are applying to our skin actually do something with our skin. If we have this layer of dead skin, our products are not going to work as nicely and they're not going to penetrate the skin as correctly either, right? Because we have this barrier in the way. So exfoliating your skin at least once a week during the winter is definitely recommended. And my favorite exfoliant is lactic acid. And recently I did share my favorite lactic acids that I like to use. If you haven't seen that video, I'm gonna leave it below for you as well as up here. But one of those lactic acids that I did share in that video is the Dermatology LA Refining Serum. This is one of the ones that I really enjoy, and this does a really good job. This is very moisturizing. There's vitamin E in here, hyaluronic acid. We have that lactic acid in here, but there's also mandelic acid, which is another type of alpha hydroxy acid, but the molecule size is even larger than the lactic acid. So this is more gentle and it's going to take longer to work, so it's not going to be as irritating. And I really love this serum so much. But if I don't want to use a lactic acid, then I will resort to the Inkyless polyhydroxy acid toner. That one is even more gentle for those that have sensitive skin. I really love that toner, and I also really love the ordinary mandelic acid, just that separate serum. So these are things that I do like to use during the winter. Of course, use an exfoliating acid that is suited for your skin type, but if you are more on that drier skin type, lactic acid seems to be one of the best ones to go with. And of course, if you have sensitive skin, go with mandelic acid or polyhydroxy acids. Another essential is using moisturizers that are rich and that are really moisturizing, that are jam-packed with ingredients to repair and strengthen the skin barrier. So whether your skin barrier needs that or not, our skin can go through a lot during the winter. When the furnace is on and the environment is drier, our skin barrier can feel tight, and then of course we're lacking that hydration. So using a moisturizer that is rich and hydrating but also repairing is so beneficial. And one of the ones that I love is the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm B5. So this contains 5% panthenol, there's metacascoside, there's vitamin E in here, shea butter, and this is wonderful. You can pick it up at your local drugstore, and I use this every single night. I use it with tretinoin, I use it with lactic acid, I use it with copper peptides, I use this with everything. And it's just one of those moisturizers that are great to have on hand when you need it, but especially if you want to be really consistent with it. And sometimes I do use this in my morning skincare routine, and you can. I do have separate moisturizers that I like to use in my morning that pair up nicely with my sunscreen and my makeup, but this is one of those ones that I like to use at night as that nice thick rich moisturizer that is going to repair my skin overnight, and this is exceptional. So facial oils can be lovely to use as these are hydrating and they really do the job well to repair dry skin. Now, I don't use facial oils all the time. I am somebody that really didn't get into that. It's an extra step that I don't want to do, and generally with the products that I use, they're quite hydrating enough where I am content with how my skin feels, but sometimes during the winter, I just need that extra step for that hydration. So when it comes to a face oil, there's only one that I like to use, and it's the Ordinary Bee Oil. This is underrated. A lot of people don't talk about this, and if you're someone that enjoys multiple different oils, then this is the formula for you. I call this the hybrid formulation. So this has rosehip seed oil, squalene, and borage seed oil. This is wonderful, and this really helps with dry skin and making your skin feel comfortable. Now, when you use facial oils, generally you want to apply these on top of your moisturizer. So all you need is a couple of drops, and of course just tap it into your skin, your neck, your hands if you want to, and this really does work. It's affordable, and it's something that you should try, especially if you love facial oils. And if you ever do try this, please come back and let me know how you liked it, because anybody that I have recommended this to has really enjoyed it. So you just need to try it. Using Aquaphor during the winter months can be very beneficial, especially if you have dry skin. A lot of people like to slug their face with Aquaphor or some type of occlusive product like this, like Vaseline or maybe the CeraVe healing ointment. There's a lot of options out there, but I like Aquaphor, and I don't slug my entire face, but I do like to apply this to certain areas. So I like to apply this to my lips before I go to bed. This does a really good job to prevent dry lips. Also, I like to apply the smallest amount of this on top of my eye cream around my eyes, because again, this is going to lock in the hydration from my eye serum or my eye cream, preventing transepidermal water loss. So when I wake up in the morning, my under eyes look so plump and hydrated. They just look 10 times better, and all of that moisture stayed in my skin. I also like to apply this a little bit on my forehead sometimes, or anywhere where I have dry patches, and I also love to apply this to my hands. So before bed, I like to apply hand cream, of course. Then I like to apply a thin layer of this all over my hands, and then I have these satin white gloves that I like to put on so that it keeps that moisture in. It doesn't go all over my pillow while I'm sleeping. And when I wake up in the morning and I take those gloves off, my hands look incredible. If you have oily, acne-prone skin, you may not want to use this. Also, if you are prone to milia, sometimes using products like this or slugging can be an issue, and I am prone to milia around my eyes, but I am using under eye serums that have active ingredients like retinol, alpha hydroxy acids, and using eye serums that have these active ingredients really helps to prevent milia because your under eyes are constantly being exfoliated. So if I am not using those eye serums, and let's say I'm using this on top of my eye cream, I would probably experience milia because I used to have a lot growing up, and I had them up until a couple of years ago. So those eye serums really do help to prevent milia. So if you are interested in knowing what I'm using, I will leave that video below for you. I did upload my favorite eye serums back in December, and I also uploaded my favorite eye creams as well if you want to have a look. But I really like using this, like I said, underneath my eyes just to keep everything looking youthful and hydrated. And the last winter essential that I'm going to be sharing in this video is using sunscreen, of course. During the winter, you always want to be wearing sunscreen, whether it's a snowstorm, whether it's freezing cold, you're hibernating inside your house until the spring. It doesn't matter, you have to wear sunscreen. And of course, finding a sunscreen that is hydrating and moisturizing is really important because, of course, during the summer, sometimes we're using sunscreens that have that mattifying finish, and a lot of those sunscreens don't do justice during the winter, especially if you're someone that has dry skin. And I have combination skin, and I don't like sunscreens that give that mattifying look and feel. I just hate that type of formula. So I really love the Summer Fridays Shade Drops Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Mineral Milk Sunscreen. It is so lightweight. It has that milky serum consistency, but it's so hydrating, and it just feels so comfortable on the skin. It pairs up nicely with makeup. I never have issues with this, and it's exceptional. So this has a zinc oxide of 9.4%. This is not water resistant, and also this is something that really doesn't leave a white cast on my skin. Of course, if you have darker skin, there's always that possibility. I know I always say that, but you know, just because I don't experience a white cast doesn't mean that you won't, right? We're all different. And also, this leaves your skin skin-like with a little bit of that glow, which I think is beautiful during the winter because, again, sometimes we're lacking that hydration. So having a sunscreen that gives our skin a little bit of that radiance is nice, and I love this. So those are my winter skincare routine essentials. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video and that you found it helpful. Honestly, these products help so much to get me through these winter months, and they perform so well to keep that skin barrier nice and hydrated and repaired. So whether you have dry skin or you just want something for hydration, honestly, I feel like you can benefit from a lot of these products that I shared today. Just pick a couple of things that you feel would be best for your skin type, and also products that you can be consistent with. So I will link up everything that I shared in this video below for you for your reference, along with my dermatology discount code. Thank you so much for watching. I always do appreciate it, and of course, I will see you all in the next video. Take care, and I will see you all then. Bye, guys.